Hey T-Mile students, this is Miss Gelly coming to you with our first video lecture, Introduction to Human Geography. So the plan here is to give you a little bit of background information about what this class is all about, what human geographers do, and at the end of this, there is an exit slip that I'm going to go over. So thanks for watching this whole thing. Let's get going. So geography is the scientific study of where people and activities are found across Earth's surface and the reasons they are found there. The warm welcome that you just finished up is a great example of what human geographers do. Human geographers look at the spatial distribution of things and consider why they're there and why we care about them. So it's not a history class, it's a social studies class, but this is different. Historians look through the lens of time to understand the past. Geographers look through the lens of space to understand place. Geography is a Greek word, combines earth and writing. When you think of geography, might be thinking about things like the physical environment, the weather, the climate, the where the oceans are, or maybe you think about labeling the 7 continents of the world. Well, this class goes beyond that. This is focused on human geography, where we are really focused on the spatial characteristics of humans and humans' activity. So what's the relationship between the earth and the human behavior? Geographers like to ask these 3 questions. What is where? Why is it there? And why should we care? So here's a great example of something a geographer might be looking at to answer these 3 questions. So first they'll think about, okay, what is where? Well, first of all, we need to know, what is this? What are we looking at? If you said the Nile River Delta, you are absolutely correct. The Nile River Delta Nile River flows down here. Here's the delta, it opens up into the Mediterranean Sea. This bright light here is Cairo. So we have some basic geographic features that we're noticing. Why is it there? Why is Cairo here? Well, think about how great of a spot that would be at the end of the Nile, right before it hits the delta, in terms of the physical landscape. It's not here in the middle of the desert for a reason. For thousands of years, humans have chosen to create civilizations here. And now, why should we care? Well, we can think politically. Who has control over the Nile or the access points? We could think from an environmental standpoint, what's being dumped into the Mediterranean. We could think about from an urban perspective, Cairo is exploding. We're seeing cities grow exponentially all over the world. So with this rapid rise in urbanization, if Cairo, because this is all desert, can no longer house people like it used to, where are these people going to be migrating to? And geographers love maps. We love all kinds of maps. I hope you learn to love maps. Just to show you how diverse maps can be, we have 3 maps of Africa, and yet they show very different things. Right? We have on the far right a population density map. So it's showing the darker the color, the more densely populated that area of Africa is. We have a political map that shows when each country gained independence in the center. And then over here we have a physical map showing the different landforms and sea levels of Africa. All kinds of political maps. Just keep in mind when you are looking at a political map, it is not a set in stone thing. Boundaries and borders are often changing. And so this is where it's important to look back in time and see how political maps have changed. And a lot of times they tell the story. So if we look at, maps prior to World War II, political maps of Europe, they're going to show some things that are really important to knowing the political landscape today. You may have seen physical maps. Physical maps are often combined with political maps, but physicals show terrain and elevation on Earth. The reference maps you use all the time. They're informational, they show boundaries, they show place names. World maps, you probably have one in every social studies classroom. You may have looked at a map of Minneapolis. Well, hopefully you did a little bit if you've done your mental map of Minneapolis assignment, Google Maps. You may have not seen a map of Southwest High School. Typically, when students enter Southwest High School, they get a map of school and spend the first week really trying hard to navigate. But the map is helpful. They display physical and human-made features, and a couple of other things you may have seen or may have used. A hiking route map, maybe you've used one to access the Metro Transit bus lines. Maybe you have been to the mall and you look for that map right at the entrance to the store or to the mall, and you can see where your stores are, where the food court is. But these are all examples of things where they're informational. You use them to help you navigate. Thematic maps are, I think of as story maps. They tell us a story by showing the density and the distribution of quantitative data. And generally, you read the title to know what the story is about. Titles always have a lot of information about what the map is about. And this is really what our class is going to focus on, our thematic maps. So here are a couple of examples. This is from New York Times article just this weekend. This is an updated report on the cases in the United States. This is a particular type of thematic map called a choropleth map. Choropleth maps use colors and shading to represent quantifiable data. So the more cases per 1,000, these are by county. So those counties are indicated in red. The fewer cases are the lighter yellow color. You might be seeing a lot of political maps these days. This is a poll, latest poll, I guess as of September 9th. The blue indicates heavily leaning towards the Democratic candidate, which is Joe Biden, and the red indicates the Republican candidate, which is who is Donald Trump. And the ones in between are the toss-up states. So the vote isn't based on popular vote. The way that the political candidate is chosen is by the Electoral College. So this is showing that information. I'm sure we will get back to lots of maps like this year. And I really think this is a powerful video. This is Obama at a geography bee way back in 2012. And he says this, it's a wonderful quote. I love what he says about why geography matters. So I'll just play the beginning of this.
Well, we have now come to a very important moment in this year's Geographic Bee competition, ladies and gentlemen. And players, you're going to need your writing tablets for this next one. It involves a video delivered by someone who lives not far from here in Washington, D.C. I want you to take a look at your monitors. The video will be projected on the large screen for our audience. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce the President of the United States.
Hi, everybody. Before I give you my answer, I want to congratulate all the students who are participating in this year's competition. Today, we celebrate your talent and hard work, but we also celebrate the important role that geography plays in all our lives, because the study of geography is about more than just memorizing places on a map. It's about understanding the complexity of our world, appreciating the diversity of cultures that exists across continents. And in the end, it's about using all that knowledge to help bridge divides and bring people together. So keep up the great work. Now, my aunt.
All right. I really like that. I think that's it's a great way to segue into our class, and just be keeping that in mind, that everything that we do when we're talking geography, it's about the real world that we live in. And I think that's what makes it such an interesting class. In order to talk about the things that Obama mentioned, though, how we bridge divides, we really need to start with a common understanding of geographic locations. So this is something that I want you to spend a little bit of time reviewing. I think that this is something you've probably seen a map of world regions, probably as early as kindergarten, and I know that a lot of you did this stuff in 8th grade, but this is the AP Human Geography World Regions map. This is the big picture view, and you probably are familiar with all, other than maybe like Russian Federation is a little bit of a different one, or Africa is broken up into Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa. There's another version, the World Regions A Closer Look map. This is the one that when I talk about places of the world or regions of the world, I will most likely refer to these regions. So most of them are probably fairly familiar to most of you. The ones over here on the right side of the screen, Micronesia, Melanesia, Polynesia, those might be new. But be thinking about how just direction can help you with things. East Africa is, of course, on the east side of Africa. So to help you practice this or to review the world regions, I have the exit slip. The exit slip is linked to my Bitmoji classroom. And so you're gonna go to, it's a Cetera map practice. And what I'd like you to do is keep playing until you get all of the world regions correct. You're gonna take a screenshot like what you see on the right, indicating that you've scored 100%. And if you have trouble, you don't know how to take a screenshot or whatever, that's fine. You can just simply type your time in there. So we'll see. Anyone beat me my 40 seconds? Good luck. So how to get there? First thing you're going to do is under important links, you go to my website, and then you'll scroll down to my Bitmoji classroom, and in the middle on the whiteboard, it says click here for today's exit slip. And then here's the map. So what you're doing is you're going to click on the region that it says up here. So Southeast Asia, I'm going to click right here, indicate Southeast Asia. Central Africa, I'm going to click here. Let's say I get one wrong, like I think this is the Caribbean. It's in fact Brazil. It says, oh, not correct. I'm just going to go down here and restart. So then the clock is restarted. When you get 100%, take that screenshot, put it into the exit slip, and you are good to go for the day. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. I will see you next time.